For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm so excited and honored to connect with all of you today. This is a special day for lots of different reasons. I have things that I'm excited to celebrate with you and to share with you today. Today, we are focusing in on the Grandmother Legacies. This is our third interview series in this special group of interviews where we are really focusing in on our book that's launching today. In fact, it is now officially available on Amazon, so you can find it under the Grandmother Legacies, and that's plural. You can find it. We're having an Amazon special best-selling campaign that we're doing for $1 US dollar, and are very, very excited to celebrate this launch day with you and highlight 4 of our amazing co-authors in this book as they share from their heart to yours. And one of the things that just as I was preparing for our time together, I was thinking about how thankful I am and how excited I am to be connecting in with all of you. This book is something that was a dream and a vision of mine to bring forward someday. Eventually, I wanted to honor my grandmothers. I wanted to bring their legacy messages forward. And one of my grandmothers passed away while I was in that someday space. And it really convicted me to bring it forward now, not someday, but really bring forward this book. And as I shared that vision, there were all of these authors that felt touched to bring their legacy messages and stories forward. And so we've come together with this amazing and powerful and inspiring collection of 18 legacy stories that I know will touch your heart. I know they will inspire you and encourage you. And I hope encourage you to lean into your own legacy message and stories, that you get to bring those forward every day in every choice that you make. And I know you're going to enjoy our conversation as we lean in and share with our authors, 4 of them that are joining us today. And I invite you to listen to the other 2 shows that we did, and we will be doing one more next week, where you can get to know most of the authors in this book and hear their voice and their heart and their energy. I know the series will inspire you and I hope lift you up today. And as I was thinking about how thankful and excited I was about today, there are a few things I wanted to celebrate with all of you. One, I just signed contracts with Voice America that will be leaning into our 4th year and bringing this powerful show to you, and we'll continue to have it syndicated and shared out through all the different platforms and places that we have been sharing it out. And I just want to celebrate that with all of you and thank you for being part of the journey and this opportunity to connect in with you and be part of your life and have you be part of ours. It's just been such an honor. So I'm excited about that and celebrating that. Just celebrated our 8th wedding anniversary with my husband and I just earlier this month. So it's another thing I'm very much celebrating. And we have one of our co-authors on the line. This is actually her wedding anniversary as well. And so she's carving out some time to celebrate with us and spend some time together. So a lot of celebration celebration on this call today, and then that we are here today in this space and time bringing this book to the world. And I just honor and celebrate my grandmothers. I'm so thankful for their impact in my life and the seeds they've planted and the work of the empowerment arena. They're a lot of why I do the work that I do today. So it's a very personal journey and a very sacred one to me to be able to share this book with all of you. And I want to thank you for leaning in and being part of this. And in honor of all of these things that we're celebrating, we have this special campaign that we're doing for 24 to 72 hours, and then it'll go up to the normal price that we're offering it for $1. So we do just want to let you know that and encourage you to check it out. And we'd love to have you share the show and the replay of it and share out the opportunity to lean into this book if it touches your heart. So thank you for being with us today. And I wanted to, in light of all of this celebration and the special day that we have together, to take a moment and pause. It's so easy in the hustle and bustle of the season and in days that are full of reflection and celebration to forget to pause. So let's take a moment together, heart to heart, and breathe in deeply. And those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Both hands on the wheels, eyes open, just inwardly tuning in, pausing and breathing that deep belly breath, making ourselves very present. Those of you who are able to, I invite you to close your eyes, put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Breathe in deeply through the nose, see how big you can make your belly, and out through the mouth. Wonderful. And in this space, I want to think about, what are you thankful for today, in this moment? What is something that you can celebrate, acknowledge, receive, and honor? What is it that you are leaning into? And as you think about and feel into, what is it you want to celebrate today? Just feel into that. Receive that information. And deepening that a little bit as we're looking at what you're wanting to celebrate and acknowledge, is there something with that you're also wanting to step into or bring forth? I find sometimes when we lean into that celebration, there's also either a receiving or a leaning in that can be pulling at our heart when we pause and acknowledge and enjoy that celebration, and then something that we want to bring forth with it. And just see and receive. When you have that information, I want you to come back into the room, open up your eyes, fully present. And as we connect in heart to heart, I wanted to go around our virtual room with our authors here and have them just share 20 seconds, 30 seconds, what was laid on their heart, something they want to acknowledge or celebrate or bring forth. So with that, Colleen, I would love you to share what was laid on your heart.
Oh, for me, it's really about just receiving, and receiving from that place of being worthy to just celebrate in the receiving, not for trying to get something, but opening up that space. So when you talk about there's something you want to bring forward, I've really opened up to painting, a new avenue of expression, which I think in part came from writing the book. It's all part of it. So I'm just really joyful in sitting in that receiving space.
Beautiful. I love that and celebrate that with you, and can't wait to see all that unfolds in the realm of painting. That's just beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Tricia, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Well, what was laid on my heart was just a time of, I don't know if it's just the time of year in the book with my grandmother, but just celebrating all of who I am and the history and all the things that are happening now in my life, but just embracing all of it and just being in celebration and gratitude.
Beautiful. I love that. Embracing it all and gratitude and celebration. Beautiful. Thank you. Victoria, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Well, I have my 8th wedding anniversary today. So obviously the first thing that popped into my mind, yay, was my sweet hubby. But you know what came immediately after that was all the little interactions that I have with people, that I've had with people the last couple of days. You know, and on the surface, it's like everything has been going wrong. My car broke down, the furnace, blah, blah, blah. You know, but the point is, it all could have been so much worse. And, you know, so gratitude to the universe for, you know, my car broke down in my driveway. You know, hallelujah. You know, and the furnace died now that it's 27 degrees above zero, not 27 degrees below zero. You know, so yay. And all through the last 4 or 5 days, so many little interactions with people who took the time, you know, 10 seconds out of their life to be kind, to be understanding, to give me these little gifts. And, you know, we get so wound up in what's not going the way we want it to be. You know, it's like, why did my car have to break down at all? You know, we forget about not only, you know, it could have been a lot worse. You know, I live in the mountains in a rural area, you know, but all these little people who we forget about. We don't really see them or feel them. And today, in this heart meditation, I felt that I was touched with gratitude for all these little interactions that just go right over my head ordinarily, and I could feel them. Yeah.
Oh, let's take a moment and breathe that in. Those 10-second moments that we can sometimes miss, that when we see them can be such an encouragement and make such a difference. Beautiful. Thank you. And Pamela, I'd love to take a moment and see what was laid on your heart.
I concur with the other ladies. Gratitude, grateful, thankful, happy place. For me, I am grateful that I don't live in a place where I have a lot of regrets. Regardless of what I've been through, I'm able to live out most of the things that I wanted myself to do, that I wanted to do. So grateful for that, grateful for the happiness.
Beautiful. I just want to echo, as we went in, thank you for sharing, Pamela. I appreciate that gratefulness, that happiness and the joy, and this opportunity to connect with all of you, our listeners and our families and our communities leaning in. It's such a privilege to have this opportunity to have a show where we're able to connect live with you around the world. What a privilege and opportunity. And I want to give all of you a moment to pause and see what is laid on your heart. What is something you are grateful for or thankful for? And perhaps even see if that is pulling you forth and stepping into a new space or arena, or sharing in some way, or perhaps letting someone know how they touched your life in a positive way. We're going to go into our first commercial break, and as we do that, I want to invite you to take these next 2 minutes to be present, to really see what is being laid on your heart, to acknowledge what you are grateful for and celebrating. And when we come back, we'll look forward to having a conversation with each of our authors about what they are bringing forth in this book and wanting to share with the world. We look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Voice America Women. Your passion starts here. Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
For women, the pressure to achieve is stronger, the work hours longer, and the struggle for respect and authority more complex than ever. You want guidance on how to succeed, and you are not alone. You're invited to take your coffee break with Game Changers on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for our special series, Game Changing Women. Powerful women leaders will help you make sense of it all, analyze how you can change the game, and share their playbooks. Game Changing Women, presented by SAP on the Business Channel.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit Facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and really gave yourself the gift of being present and pausing and reflecting on what you're thankful for, grateful for, and celebrating, and maybe have even started making a little bit of a list of someone that you want to, or a couple of people you want to reach out to, maybe someone that took those 10 seconds and shared a kindness or an encouragement with you, that we can all make such a difference in each other's lives, those 10 seconds at a time. So welcome back. We are talking with some of our amazing authors from our book, newly released today, in case anyone missed that in the opening segment. Released today, December 5th, and we're doing a special best-selling campaign on Amazon, so you can find the book, The Grandmother Legacies, there. And I wanted you to get to know our authors a little bit. So I'm going to go through and formally introduce the 4 of our authors that are joining us today. And I've asked them to share a little bit about why either they were called to be part of this book and this project, or something they're excited about. And then they're going to let you know their chapter title. So I am going to introduce to you our Tricia. I call her my Tricia, so I'm making it our Tricia Garrett. I'm going to share with you today.
I'll be your Tricia.
But I'm willing to share you today. I will share you. So my Tricia Garrett, soon to be your Tricia Garrett too, is the owner and executive producer of Bright Light, the Bright Light TV channel, which is committed to bringing illumination to the globe. She is the host of The Tricia Garrett Show, an international best-selling author, and recently has become officially a professional cuddler for preemies. You knew I'd work that in, and newborn babies, which I know will be happy to share about, should we have time. and a certified coach. She is absolutely passionate about helping you stand in your greatness. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Tricia Garrett to the show. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Thank you for having me on the show, and I feel especially honored to be on the show today, the actual launching of the book. So this is like really, really special. So thank you.
You are so welcome, and very happy and excited to have you joining us today on this special launching day, and would love to have you share why this book called to you and you were led to be part of it, or something that you're excited about. I just want to share a little bit of your heart in this area with our listeners today.
Well, I just remember when you first started talking about doing this anthology, I was on board because it was not even something I had to think about, pray about, meditate. No, I'm in on this because my grandmother had so much influence on my life, and she was such an incredible woman. And when we started this project, I didn't know, but she passed away this year. So it made it even more special to honor her in this way.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for leaning in. Such an honor to have you on this journey with us and to honor your grandmother in such a beautiful way as you have in your chapter. Just so beautiful. And what is the title of your chapter so they can find it quickly?
The title of my chapter is Mothered from a Distance.
Mothered from a Distance.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tricia. I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you.
Next, absolutely, our next guest is actually a grandmother herself. And so something that's been really neat about this book is we have a multi-generational perspective. So some are granddaughters writing about their grandmothers, and then we also have grandmothers writing about their own legacy and what they're wanting to create and bring forward and why. And so Pamela is one of our grandmothers. So Pamela Smith is a grandma and a healthy home real estate expert. She is certified in health coaching, has a bachelor's in health and science, and is currently pursuing her master's. And I'm sharing this specifically because that's something, the educational side and pursuing these degrees is something important to her as well as to her chapter. So she is absolutely passionate about education and helping you live a healthier lifestyle in your home. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Pamela Smith to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Pamela. I'm very happy to have you joining us and would love to have you share a little bit about why you wanted to be part of this book, why it pulled at you, and your chapter title. Give them a little feel of what it's about and where that way they can find it quickly in the book.
Okay. Well, a few years ago, I'd say my grandchildren they're who inspired me to participate. A few years ago for Christmas, instead of giving them items, I got each one of them a journal, and I wrote basically a love story to each of them. And that was so powerful. It was powerful for me, but the impact it had on them just really lifted me up and encouraged me. And when I heard about this opportunity, the Grandmother Legacies, I said, here's an opportunity for me to give them just a little bit more.
Beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing. And what is the title of your chapter?
The title of my chapter is something that my mother used to always say to me, and that is, actions speak louder than words.
Beautiful. And in our next section, when we come back from our commercial break, I'm going to have Pamela expand on that because I feel like a preview of your chapter will help them understand how powerful that title is, because you put to action those things that matter to you, not just in words. So it's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pamela, for sharing and joining us today. Colleen is joining us from Canada, and she is a coach, a strategic thinker, and trusted advisor, inspirational guide, has a BA and master's, an author, and she is absolutely passionate about helping you claim your true gifts and creative power. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Colleen Quinn to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. So
my arms are up welcoming you. Well, glad to have you here today. And I'd love for you to share why this book called to you or something you're excited about it and your chapter title.
Yes, thanks. Well, when the opportunity presented itself, it just awakened something in me, this desire. I didn't even know it was there. Mm-hmm. So I was obviously excited about honoring my grandmother and celebrating with other women the honoring of grandmothers. And you will know this, when you say yes to something, there's always more to it, and it's the beginning of something. And so as I stepped into thinking, I'm a storyteller, I'm going to tell the story of my grandmother, I went through this process of I'm a story carrier. The story's continuing. I'm in the story. It's living. I'm an ancestor. And so it just opened up this wonderful dialogue with my sisters and brother on our family, on ancestry, what we think. And it really made me pause and really think, okay, if I'm a story carrier, what is going to unfold from here? So I've consciously stepped back and sort of really making some changes and sort of, it's like grandmother's calling me to up my game a little bit. So very powerful, scary. It's been a journry. And so the title is Live Without Reservation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. And just some of what you're sharing has just struck me so beautifully. I love this concept of story carrier and all that has awakened in you, and that we all have this opportunity to be a story carrier, and we are. And how are we carrying that story, and where are we carrying it? So beautiful share. Thank you. And I love that. Live without reservation. Really beautiful. Powerful. Thank you, Colleen.
Thanks.
And then Victoria, who is celebrating her wedding anniversary. I just keep throwing that in because I'm happy for you, celebrating with you. Victoria Leo is an author, a speaker, health and wellness expert, and she is absolutely passionate about helping you have permanent transformations in your life. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Victoria Leo to the show. Welcome.
Hi there. I'm so happy to be here. And I gotta leap in here and say my experience is totally on a wavelength with Colleen. Working on this project was transformational for me. I mean, I hope it's going to be for other people too, but it opened my eyes, and it changed me on a very, very deep level. And it's hilarious because, Rebecca, you and I were talking about this. I did not sign up for this immediately because, I looked at it and my logical brain said, oh, that doesn't make any sense for me right now because I've got a book I need to finish. I need time, blah, blah, blah. But I had this voice during meditation, this voice that said, you have to do this. And I always listen to the voices in my head. So I did. I signed up and I started working on it. And as I started exploring these grandmothers' lives, I found the DNA source for my own courage. And I got so energized. 2017 was an incredible creative year for me. Everything that I did, I was like bam, 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 knocking things out, and everything, was going, to press early, and so my message would be, listen to the authentic voice of your heart. When you're deep in meditation and you're truly listening to your authentic heart. I had no, logically this was a no, but and it wasn't really until after I got deeply involved in writing that all these things were like pouring off my pen, pouring out of my heart, because they were connections that I had never made before. I had never seen these things. Anyway, never mind. And I have no idea what the title is. Something about courage, but look for my name. Leo the Lion.
Thank you for sharing your courage and your roar with us today. I love it, but I think that happens so often. Sometimes our logical mind will make decisions, but when we pause and listen, there's something deeper that we can't quite see or understand yet. And when we listen to that part of us, that still quiet voice calling us forward, or the voices in our head, as you shared, then it's amazing how things will come together, the depth that we can go, what we can create, what we can do, because we paused and listened and honored that voice, even when our logical mind can't quite understand why. And then it gets to understand later as we dig in. And so thank you for sharing, Victoria. I appreciate that. And really quickly, what is the title of your chapter?
I have no idea. It has the word courage in it somewhere. That's why, just look for my name. Just look for my name, Leo.
And courage. Okay, we'll find it that way. Perfect. Listeners, I want you to take a moment. I hope that you're roaring too. Take a breath. And as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, I want you to think about, what is that still small voice sharing with you? What is being spoken into your heart? What is it that perhaps your logical mind is, I just don't see how that fits. We haven't done that before, but you have this knowing, this pulling forth. And I want to encourage you, as we go to our commercial break, these next 2 minutes, to really take a moment and listen and receive whatever that is pulling at your heart, that is calling you forth, and tap into that courage within. And I want to invite you to lean into saying yes to whatever that is pulling you forth, because all of us, as I've read their intros, want you to stand in your greatness, to step into your creative power, to step into your courage. We are here supporting you. And this is a multi-generational legacy that we're passing on to you and sharing from our DNA, our hearts, to support you to be all that you are called to be and what you are being called to step into. So we look forward to talking to you in just a couple minutes, and hope that you enjoy this time of listening and exploring where and what you are being called forth in. We look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Relationship issues? Anxious? Parenting challenges? No more. Learn to live your best life. Tune into Straight Talk with top therapist, relationship, and anxiety expert Sandra Reish. Learn to transform your challenges into effective solutions. Whether it's relationships, parenting, anxiety, or other traps, Sandra will show you how you can live the life of your dreams. Listen live every Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you took the opportunity to listen to that still, quiet voice or the voices in your head, however they speak to you, that it is that those messages, those things that when we're still and listening really speak into our heart, and that you are leaning into saying yes, because part of the magic and the gift of you is how you're uniquely made and called, and who you're choosing to be, the legacy that you are creating every day with your choices, with those things that you are leaning into, that you are saying yes to, and that you are saying no to. And I want you to feel all of our energy today, and our laughter and our roaring, supporting you to step forward in those ways that you are being called, the legacies you are called to build. And I got so caught up in our conversation during this last segment, I forgot to let you know or remind you where you can find this powerful book. So I wanted to take a moment and share that with you. It's on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon.com or whatever the letters are in your country, you can find it under The Grandmother Legacies. And you will see the picture of a beautiful book opened with little teacup or coffee cup right beside it. That's how you know you're looking at the correct book. And we're so excited to be connecting with you and sharing some of our amazing authors. I hope you're hearing all their different personalities and energies. It's been such a joy to be on this journey with them, and such a rich experience to read their legacy stories and to experience them. They have spoken so deeply and powerfully into my heart, and I know that they will touch yours as well. And I wanted to go around the room and take a moment to have each of them share a piece of advice or a tip, something that they either experienced themselves as they were putting together this chapter, or perhaps a legacy that has been passed on to them that they want to make sure you know, a truth they want to remind you of or share from their heart to yours, and that has come forth in either the book and the chapter that they've pulled together or in our conversation today. So with that, Pamela, I would love for you to share from your heart a piece of advice or tip or something that's coming forth as we've connected in today.
Sure. Okay, Rebecca, it's my belief that people believe what you do more than what you say. Mm-hmm. So as a grandmother, it's been very important for me to really walk the walk and to allow my babies, as I call them, and I have one that's going to be 22, but to really experience and see me doing those things that I would hope to pass on to them.
Yes. And if we were to peel back the cover of the book and flip into your chapter, where would they, just to give a little bit of a sneak peek, how would someone experience some of that in your chapter?
I think my chapter is a story about overcoming obstacles and adversity and what that really looks like and what it can be through the journey.
Beautiful. Thank you. And something I appreciated in your chapter is you made choices and you were very deliberate about them and not just doing them, but I felt like you also opened it up for your grandchildren to let them know what you were doing and why. And I thought that was really powerful in reading. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you combined actions and words and shared the journey with them in such a powerful way.
Right. Yeah, that was on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So thank you. Thank you for making that decision and living in such a purposeful and transparent way, sharing that and sharing it within our book. Truly powerful. And I really appreciate it.
Thank you for allowing me to be in the book.
Absolutely. It has been a joy, an honor, and a privilege. So thank you for being part of it and for sharing today. Absolutely. And Victoria, how about you? Is there a piece of advice, something that is on your heart? I know you've shared a little bit about courage in your chapter, but I'm thinking as we look at flipping through and finding your chapter, what's a piece of advice or a sneak peek of something they could look forward to in your section?
You bet. What I'm thinking is what I want to say. I'm asking people to really listen deeply and from the heart to the elders in your family, your grandparents, great-grandparents, but also the great uncles and aunts, the elders in your family. In my family, my grandparents survived World War I, starvation, 2 migrations across an ocean to 2 different cultures that they had to acclimate to. And I knew that story superficially, but I never really felt what courage that must have needed. And I had, so I got such a huge feeling for the courageous DNA that I've got, right? And we all do. The human species has this deep well of courageous DNA. And the other, message that I'm hoping people will get from me here today, not necessarily in the chapter, is if courageous people aren't able to overcome all the effects of trauma, like my poor grandparents, be compassionate and err. I want everybody to err on the side of compassion when people are showing the effects of trauma. Remember that it was coming out of courage. That soul had courage. That was just, and the events of the life were just more than just courage can bear sometimes. And so, my message is be compassionate. Take a deep breath and be compassionate.
I love that.
Listen to those elders. Find out all these stories. Go deep. Feel those lives. Anyway, yeah.
Beautiful. No, thank you for sharing. I think there's just so much depth and wisdom and heart in that share. So thank you very much for sharing your legacy of courage and compassion and kindness. And it's tying back into your share earlier in my mind and heart about those 10 seconds of kindness and moments that sometimes we can miss, but it just takes 10 seconds. And to remember to extend that to ourselves, to our family members, and to others. It makes a big difference. Beautiful.
It sure
Thank
does.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you. And Colleen, I'd love for you to share a little bit of what they could look forward to in your chapter and a piece of advice that you may want to tie into that.
Yes, well, for me, it's about knowing the truth and love in your heart and staying aligned with that. And if you know that, you'll take the action to stay in integrity with it. You'll find the strength in courage. My grandmother was a Native woman in rural Prince Edward Island, Eastern Canada, that in the 1930s and when she was in her 50s, challenged the status quo for rights for her heart and took action that required a formal passing of an act of parliament. And that's so relevant with our times when we see how, early women who speak and act from their heart just help open the door. The chapter Living Without Reservation, she just had a way of transcending stereotypes, labels, ego, barriers, but it all comes from knowing and living from your heart.
Yes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful share. Thank you. And I love the title of your chapter, Live Without Reservation. I feel like it's such a powerful thing that we could reflect on from time to time when we pause and listen. How can I live without reservation? And to me, you're answering that really coming from the heart and putting action to it. It's a beautiful legacy. I appreciate you sharing and being part of this amazing book as well as part of our show today. Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you.
And then I'd love to have our Tricia now that I have shared you, Tricia. I would love for you to share a little sneak preview or something on your heart if we flipped through to your chapter that they could look forward into experiencing and a piece of advice they could take with them.
Okay, so what I wanted to share about my grandmother is that, when she passed away this year, she was 98 years old, and if she had made it to her birthday, it would have been 99. So she went from being considered a black woman, a colored woman. First of all, let me back up. From a Negro woman to a colored woman to a black woman to African American, and seeing a black man as president of the United States, which would not even conceivable if you think about the history. And I say that because I believe all of that took her to a place where she was able to have this incredible resilience. But when it came to her grandbabies, watch out. So my advice to grandparents, and this is a dedication to other grandmothers, is to allow your bounce back muscle to develop. And what I mean by that is sometimes we're separated from the ones that we love, and when that happens, it can be painful. But I just want to encourage them to allow their bounce back muscle to develop and don't give up, to continue to pursue, to be in relationships with their grandbabies and love them even if they're not in your presence, just expressing your love for them.
Oh, beautiful. And I know that love and that resilience made such an imprint on you in such a beautiful way. And there's a section in your chapter that you share that really touched my heart about being there even when things are tough, that this is what we do is just convicting and beautiful. So thank you, Tricia, for being part of this book and part of our time together today. I so appreciate you, and I appreciate all that you've shared with us. And listeners, I appreciate each of you joining us today, leaning in. It has been a joy to connect with all of you, and I hope you've enjoyed learning more about the Grandmother Legacies. Again, we are doing that special best-selling campaign on Amazon starting today for 24 to 72 hours, so we encourage you to lean in and share it out. We want to really have this book available to touch as many hearts and lives as it is called to touch and impact. And as you go back out into the world, I want you to remember that you are a gift. You matter. And I want to encourage you to step into that courage and that resilience and that love and listen to your heart and bring forth those things that matter most to you. We look forward to talking to you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine